Dear friends, today I will discuss a very important and vital subject, that is leadership in armed forces. Now, what is the kind of personality the SSB interview board is looking at? Or what is a desirable personality in the armed forces as a battle commander or as a young leader? We will discuss it today. As you all are aware, we are looking for potential leaders in the armed forces. So, when you reach the SSB board, we are going to see you like the raw material from which a finished products could be processed later during the training time. So, like a potter seeing the clay, we are going to analyze it. Imagine I am a potter and I want to make a beautiful pot which I want to sustain for many years, like a Chinese terracotta. The word China is not a very good example today. However, right. So, I am seeing the clay right now. Now, when I critically analyze this clay, the raw material, I am going to see how much impurities are there in this clay. Or is there too much of mud and less clay? Or is there more clay and less impurities? Because I am practical, I know I will not get 100% clay from anywhere. So, when I find the right clay with certain level of impurities, but which is in a limited manner, I would take that clay home, put it in my studio or the workplace, and in the process of making the pot, the cleansing process will happen. So, connecting the example with SSB, we the SSB board, we will take the right clay, though with certain impurities. Then we will put you through the training academy where you will be cleansed and will be shaped up to the required standards. We will burn it through a furnace. Of course, it is like that. And you will come out as a beautiful pot which is durable. Maybe one or odd pot may crack. That's what we call, there are very few crackpots also in the armed forces. So, but the majority are absolutely quality controlled, right? So, you will ask me right now, when you come for selection in the SSB board, what kind of personality we are looking for, right? Now, to put it in a very layman's language, I am looking for a candidate who's got a cheerful disposition, generally smiling, not smiling at the wrong place. However, he is positive in his outlook. Given a challenge in life, put through in a crisis in life, or if he gets caught in a critical situation, is he able to sustain his balance? Is he able to withstand the pressure? Can he work through these stressful situations? Is he able to connect his faculties, understand the problem correctly? How good is his grasp about the problem which is posed to him? Is he able to work through the stress levels and strains of the situation, because army is going to be a pretty stressful kind of profession many times, because you have to face the enemy in the battlefield. He is going to kill you. He is not going to embrace you. So we are going to see the finished product in mind when we see the raw material, as I have told you earlier. Now, also we are going to see how good is your logical mind. Can you understand the data or inputs which is visible to you and not visible to you also initially, which are somewhere hidden also? How best you can use the resources which are available to you on the ground instantaneously without much of earlier preparations, and how best you can innovate a situation or find a solution which is adequately enough. In Punjabi there is a beautiful word, jugaad. So I am going to say, are you a jugaadu? This is a very important aspect of being an armed force officer, because in the battlefield, the enemy is every day innovating new methods to kill you and attack you and subjugate you. He will never go with the textbook. So you have to be one step ahead than the enemy. You have to outsmart the enemy, for which your innovation of mind should be better. And you should be able to construct and create new solutions to every problem which is being posed. So I am not looking for a bookworm kind of personality in the armed forces. You may be having 90% marks, 95% marks in the exams, but I'm not really concerned, though we will look into it. But we are actually concerned about your creative mind and jugaadu mind. Okay, so this is one aspect. Also, we are going to see, are you an extrovert personality or an introvert personality? We would prefer to have an extrovert personality, because an introvert person cannot connect with the group or with new people or with his subordinates and superiors well. You all know what is an introvert personality, andarmukh. Such kind of personalities, what is the problem? They try to stay within their own shell, like a tortoise. They don't come out of their shell very fast. They don't trust others very well. In war situations, in a battle situation, you are trusting your subordinate and your colleagues with your life. That is the level of trust and camaraderie. An introvert person will not trust others very much generally. Though they have very close friends, then they 100% go for the trust level. But we are looking for an extrovert personality, because a person who got positive vibes always around him, who can connect well with the subordinates and who can easily influence them to follow him in a very difficult situation. That is what we are looking for. Also, you will find when you look around in the society, looking around you, you will find a lot of people who are very critical about others, cynical nature. They will never find good things in another human being. They always try to take out the negativity and criticize. Such kind of people are undesirable in the armed forces when we select. Again, we are looking for courageous people. Now, courage can be many types, which I told you earlier also in one of my video sessions. Moral courage, physical courage, and mental courage. Now, physical courage is highly trainable, but moral courage and mental courage are not very highly trainable because they are genetical factors. So naturally, we would look for a person who is courageous from within. You got a trait of being courageous, because armed force is a very peculiar kind of profession. Exactly, it is not a profession, it's a way of life. However, this is very, very different from your corporate world, where courage is not a factor nobody looks for. You will find many times your boss is a coward, but it doesn't matter, he will still go up high in the ladder of corporation sector. Now, so this is generally I'm trying to give you what's the kind of holistic personality we are looking for. Again, your general awareness, which I keep telling every time, and your power of expression counts, because if your power of expression is poor, you will not be able to express yourself, you will not be able to impress upon the audience, and definitely in the armed forces, your subordinates and superiors. And maybe you are a leader within, but it is not visible. So you should know SSB, we are looking for an exhibited performance. Right? Having said so, everybody talks about personality and personality development. Have you thought, what is personality? There are many definitions given by many scholars and educationalists. But practically speaking, what is personality? With my experience, I'll explain this to you. You can give hundreds of definitions, but you meet a person, subconsciously you are creating impression about that person, but you have not come to a conclusion yet. But the personality of that person whom you have met is going to linger in your mind and form a crystallized kind of figure. Once he leaves you, the impression he has left behind in the beholder, that is your personality. Right? That is what I understood with my experience as a GTO for almost 5-6 years, and my experience in the armed forces all these years, and by training all my OGNs and candidates for the last 15 years. After I have gone into this profession of training the candidates, after we have founded this Olive Green Institute, whatever I am talking today is amassed from the experience of meeting thousands of new personalities, especially the youngsters. Okay, so giving a small example, you found a chap who is met you, or a girl who met you, tall, handsome, in North we say very good complexion, fair complexion, that's what we generally say personality, speaks very well, well dressed, and with a good poise, with all kind of etiquettes, manners, you are pretty impressed. But before that person leaves you, he spits on the ground and goes. What impression you have got about that person? All the impression the person has created in your mind, for that split second, it is evaporated. So finally, what image he has left in your mind about his personality? You will come to a conclusion that this chap is a fake, is a fraud. He's trying to behave as somebody else, but at one moment of time, he gave away. He removed his mask or showed his face, one split second, and he showed his colors. So finally you have come to know his personality, what exactly it is. Exactly this is the way we are going to assess. You may be faking yourself. You may try to put a mask of being a very, very desirable personality because you have understood this is what they are looking for. You get coached by many instructors who is telling you this is the way you should behave, this is the way you must dress, this is the way you must address yourself, salutations, show respect to elders. All you have been tutored to do these things. But what we do, you should know we are more clever than your instructors. What we do, we put stress on you. Many kind of stresses, problem stress, group stress, which we call peer group pressure. We put time pressure on you. So we apply different levels of stress on you, and human mind is fragile. You come under a threshold, you can withstand, but after one particular moment of stress, you start showing your own colors. That is how I am going to catch you. So just don't fake yourself. Be yourself. And remember one thing always, we are not looking for an artificial personality. We want to see you the way you are. Be honest. Talk from your heart. Don't try to fool the system. Don't try to fool yourself, because you are only falling from your own grace by faking yourself. So, what is required to be a good human being? That is what we are looking for. What do you need in a good human being? Empathy. And what is empathy? How it is different from sympathy? You'll have to think about a little bit. We are looking for empathy in a human being. There is a huge difference. I'll give an example. Sympathy means, gentlemen and ladies, somebody is sitting on the road, he's not eating food, he's a beggar. You suddenly feel sympathy for him. You take 10 rupees note and give to him, and you feel very good about it. You have done a great job. You forget about it. You don't think about it afterwards because that moment is over. This we can term, this is sympathy. We generally have it in our mind. But empathy is stepping into his place, get into his heart, and start feeling the pain and agony what he's feeling. Feel the hunger, the pang of hunger. And you start thinking about him, how I can find a permanent solution to his problem. Like you must have all heard this phrase, don't give fish to a hungry person, teach him how to fish so that he earns a living afterwards. It is the same thing. That is empathy. So at the SSB, we are also looking at these aspects also. Who is helping others without any conditions in mind? Unfortunately, this world has become very materialistic. We all have become quite conditional in helping and loving others. Our love also has gone pretty impure, which it's another very big subject we will discuss another day. So you can't be 100% unconditional. It is very bookish. However, we would like to take a person in the armed forces who has got a genuine helping nature for others, who like to share. Unfortunately, this sharing also has become very, very difficult in this world because of this nuclear families coming up of late in this one of last 2 generations. And joint families have broken away. Single child, there's a syndrome I should say, or single child is the norm of the society. So a single child in a nuclear family naturally becomes little selfish. You can't blame that chap. You can't blame that child. And he doesn't know how to share things because they never learn to share anything with others. This is the blessing of a child from a joint family. They learn to share, be happy with whatever they have. The happiness is sharing only. They learn from a very infant stage. So such children you will find are better leaders in life. Right, so I am sure you must have generally got an idea what kind of personality we are looking for. But remember, don't try to be perfect, because we are not looking for perfect people in the armed forces. Nobody is perfect. I keep telling this. We are human beings. We have our own ghosts within, along with the godliness, and we all are Devasuras. Devamsh bhi hai, Asuramsh bhi hai. We are a mixture of both. So even assessors, we are also not perfect. So we are not looking for perfect people in the armed forces. So very, very clear about it. Don't try to behave like you are perfect or you got all the qualities which we are looking for. However, we are looking for certain core qualities which I generally have mentioned. Now, one more thing I would like to tell you right now. When we assess the personality, you all should be little aware about how a personality is made up along the years you grow. Now, we always say, when we think personality as a huge circle, 30%, it's like a pizza piece, 30% chunk, we call it hereditary factors. Can you change your hereditary factors? Can you change your DNA? You cannot. Can you change your parents? No. So whatever you have got through your DNA, that is going to remain in your personality. So we call it, this is embedded portion of your personality. Okay. Now another 30% is the conditioning happened from childhood till today. So this condition has happened by your training, your environmental impact on you, the education you have gone through. Certain qualities have got embedded in the process. Again, this is very difficult to remove from your personality. So this we can call it's like embedded qualities. So 60% of your pizza is gone. Now we remain 40% of it. Now this 40% of your personality we call goodwill, correction, or we call it free will, correction, free will. Now, what is this free will? Free will is the portion of your personality which is flexible, which is not embedded, which can be positively engaged and developed into better qualities by good training, by conscious effort by you to improve upon your personality. You can make a sea change in this 40% of your personality. If you can do that, I can assure you, you can be a leader in life. Not only the armed forces, wherever you go, you will be a leader because you will stand out in the crowd. You will be unique, outstanding. Please work on these things. Yes, we can help you. That's what we are experts. Olive Greens Institute, we will help you out. Come to us. Again, this online craze is going on everywhere. You all know how much effective is online education. Personality building is like I am teaching you driving, swimming, such kind of skills, life skills. If I try to teach you swimming or cycle riding through or car driving through online, can you do it finally? No. So personality development requires proper physical interactive training leadership training. That is why we are not very good advocates of online training. You would have seen mostly Olive Greens hardly comes in any online forums. Again, one more thing I would like to tell you about personality to conclude this small session with you. Personality is like a iceberg. You must have seen iceberg. Take your mind to Titanic movie. So you would have seen iceberg. Whoever has not seen it with your eyes. What is visible over the surface of the sea? It is just 10%. 90% of the personality, or comparing with the iceberg, it is below the water, not visible. Now, what is the visible portion? In a personality, the visible portion, if you look at it, it is your physical appearance, your behavior, your body language, your etiquettes and manners which you show out, your expression of feelings, anger, happiness, agony, pain, all this. So what is visible outside is the 10%. So your personality actually, every day you are exposing only 10% of it. 90% of the personality is not visible to the common man or to the public. Now you'll ask me, what is the 90%? It's a very pertinent question. If you look at it, you will understand a huge chunk of this 90% is your attitude towards life. What is your attitude towards life? Do you have a positive attitude? Do you have a negative attitude? Can you take things the way it comes and still be happy in the adverse situations? Always looking for positivity in others and in the environment? Or are you always blaming others, cursing yourself to be in an adverse situation? Are you like a fish out of water when you are taken out from your comfort zone? All these things matter. So you will find attitude only is pushing ahead the symptoms. And the symptoms visible are your behavior. But what is creating these symptoms? The attitude of your mind. Now, it's not only attitude, there are many other factors also add on to your personality, not visible. They are your moral and ethic values. Moral values which you have amassed from your childhood, from your parentage, from your environment. Then lot of prejudices we have collected, superstitions in life, lessons you have learned from your life also, from experience. All these are the invisible portion of your personality. So as youngsters, because I am addressing basically youngsters, all of you would have had some kind of experience in life, but not to the extent that what we have, your elder generation. So whatever you could not gain from the experience, you need to still understand and give a thought to it. How do you do that? By reading, by observing, understanding the world around, taking out time from your own space you have created within your shell, coming out, get out of this shell and start seeing the world with a different perspective. This is very important if you want to be a leader in life, especially in armed forces. In the next session, I will definitely tell you how we can systematically improve your personality. Right? Wait for my next session. Thank you. Have a great day and be happy. Don't worry.